everyone, Paul from Drone U here to tell you about the Mavic Air review. But wait! Obviously there are a lot of Mavic Air reviews out there, so this is an after-the-fact review. What is it like to have the drone for a while? What is it like to travel with it? Is it really a commercially viable drone? What type of issues have I had? Why am I so excited about this review? Because I'm actually really excited to cut through the bullshit, give you the non-hype version, and really tell you whether this drone is worth your money or not, which in my honest opinion, it's not. So, spoiler alert. Either way, who is this drone for? It's incredibly flexible and it's great for videographers if you're traveling a lot. If you're just a family and you want to just take some cool drone videos on vacation, this drone is for you. Let me tell you who this drone is not for. Professional videographers like myself who wear really cool shirts when they're on camera. Also, who it's not for, anyone who's in the drone business who has a Part 107 license, because this really is not a commercially viable drone. They say the best drone to have when you're filming for money is the one that you have with you. This is definitely the exception to that rule. So who is this drone for? Anyone who travels a lot, it's for their family, or they're a vlogger. Who is this drone not for? Anyone who takes drone filming seriously. So let's tell you about the 10 things that you need to know before you buy this drone. The first thing you should know about the Mavic Air, it's extremely flexible. It comes in a nice little man purse, or what we like to call a merce. It's nice and gray, fits in your little camera backpack, or you can travel with it just about anywhere. You can fit 3 batteries in there, the charger, the drone itself, and the remote control. In fact, it's really awesome to travel with because you can actually take the sticks out of the remote itself and actually store them, so you don't have to worry about breaking the sticks or having any weird control movement because you packed your remote in a weird way. So honestly, this is by far the most clandestine drone possible. In fact, I think it would actually make James Bond a little bit jealous. The second thing you should know about the Mavic Air is that it can actually handle the wind quite well. We went to Arizona, we tested its ability to fly in the wind, and frankly, it was really awesome. But here's the thing, it's actually faster than a Mavic Pro. Yes, the Mavic Air is faster than the Mavic Pro, but what it cannot do are the aggressive banking turns that a Mavic Pro still can't even do to the extent that the Phantom 4 Pro can do. So Phantom 4 Pro, most agile, next most agile is going to be your Mavic Pro, then below that is the Mavic Air. I mean, the Mavic Air really struggles to take those nice banking turns. It tends to over-yaw itself, and it just causes a lot of problems. So, as far as performance is concerned, it's frankly very capable to handle just about anything you throw at it. So as far as performance is concerned, it is actually quite capable, but just remember, with the Mavic Air, you don't get any attitude mode. So just something to remember. The third thing that you should know is what is real endurance? What is the real flight time that you can expect? I don't care what DJI advertises. If you have half a brain, you understand that the flight time at sea level and the flight time in the mountains is going to be a lot different. So what am I getting? In the mountains, or here at about 6,000 feet, I'm getting about 12 minutes of flight time. Down at the beach, I haven't gotten beyond 15 or 16 minutes of flight time, but again, I'm a pretty aggressive pilot, so you could get a little bit more flight time, but my experiences in Florida have said, no, 15 minutes. The fourth thing you should know is what type of distance can I really get with flying my drone? Is this like a Mavic Pro that can go thousands of feet and still have a great video signal and I can trust on it? So if I'm wondering what direction is the drone facing right now, I will know from my video feed. Nope, you're not going to get any of that with the Mavic Air. It doesn't have OcuSync, so you're realistically, if you're in an urban environment, probably going to get like 500-600 feet tops. Now, I have been in non-urban environments on the beach and only been able to get 200 feet. Now, here's the worst part. You like flying drones with your friends? Well, if you're flying a Mavic Air and they're flying a Phantom, they're going to have a great video feed. You're not going to have a video feed at all. It's going to suck, and you're going to look like a giant tool because you bought the Mavic Air. Just kidding, you won't look like a tool, but you won't be able to fly it that far. The fifth thing you should know is all about the camera, because frankly, this camera is advertised to have a little bit better camera capability than say the Mavic Pro, because the Mavic Air shoots at 100 megabits per second, offering a little bit better detail and information in your video. But when you're shooting with the Mavic Pro, it's only advertised to have 60 megabits per second. Now that may be great, fine, and dandy, but in all honesty, the color gamut that the Mavic Air is using is significantly different than the color gamut out of the Mavic Pro. I'm not really sure what it is, as I'm not a photographer for 20 years and have like the wisest knowledge and making photography great again, I'm not gonna be able to do that, okay? Pure and simple. But what I can tell you is something is just really weird about color gamut. If I'm flying a Phantom, the ocean looks blue. If I'm flying a Mavic Air, the ocean looks brown. If I'm flying a Mavic Pro, it looks a little bit between the two. The way that the drone is reading the sensor data is really interesting. And yes, I have tried different white balances. And yes, I've tried different, modes for color, obviously. But for whatever reason, it's not coming out clear, crisp, and beautiful like a Phantom. Here's the other thing. Whenever you're flying in sport mode, if you have your camera tilted up at 0 degrees and you pitch forward in sport mode, your camera automatically tilts down and stays there. The same is true if you have your camera pointed straight down and you're trying to reverse pitch, your camera's gonna automatically tilt up. Now, that's a pain in the butt for me or anyone who really shoots professionally, because this thing is so small, you need a little bit of speed to really showcase the distance that you're traveling. Well, when the gimbal auto tilts on its own because of the flight controller, that is a 2 thumbs down from me, or in the Roman days, that means death. The sixth thing you should know about the Mavic Air is that if you're a professional photographer or you have taken the DJI Photo Academy class, you're gonna be really depressed once you hear what I'm about to say. That's right, there is no aperture or shutter priority. So if you went to the DJI Photo Academy and you learned that you should be shooting in shutter priority, no shutter priority on the Mavic Air. All you've got is automatic and manual. It's not even really truly manual because every time you change one of the settings, the exposure value changes, so it's not truly manual mode. So the control aspect of this camera isn't really there. Now again, if you're really looking for a drone to take quality photos and videos, the Mavic Pro is definitely a better option, but I would just skip the Mavic Pro and go right to the Phantom, because honestly, you're gonna get so many more situations that you can actually take photos and videos. It's gonna handle the wind a lot better, so you can do long exposure photos. Yes, that is actually possible with a drone, but realistically only with the Phantom 4 Pro or with the Inspire. So, that's that. The seventh thing that you should know about the Mavic Air is the intelligent flight modes and the flight modes in general. It only has GPS in sport mode, and the sport mode is not really gonna have the same flexibility that you would have on the Mavic Pro. The Mavic Pro wins out hands down when it comes to flight modes. Now, when it comes to intelligent flight modes, it's actually quite impressive the amount of flexibility that the Mavic Air has. It has some really great intelligent flight modes, including Spotlight Pro. Now, Spotlight Pro is when the drone will actually follow someone and do really stuff. Now that's great, but the only stuff you're probably gonna be able to subject track with the Mavic Air, well, that's gonna be your geriatric grandmother trying to ride a bicycle down the street, because that's about how fast the drone will go in Spotlight Pro. Alright, the eighth thing that you should know about the Mavic Air, if you are a vlogger, you travel often, or you're taking this drone with you to the family vacation, this really is the drone for you. It's one of the most durable drones out there. In fact, someone even filmed a YouTube video where they're pouring water on it, they run it into a tree, they throw water bottles at it, and it keeps flying. The fact that it doesn't have folding props makes it a lot more durable, and it's able to handle more intense situations. Now, that doesn't mean that you should try to fly it into the water and fly it back out, because simply, that's not going to work. But if you are traveling and you're moving your luggage around a lot, or you're just simply not very light and kind-hearted to the materials that you buy or the equipment you buy, then this drone is definitely for you, because it can take a beating. The ninth thing you should know about the Mavic Air, is it truly commercially viable? I would say not really, because for $100 more, I can get a Phantom 4 Advanced, do mapping, I can do videography, I've got attitude mode, so I get nice smooth shots, right? This drone has none of those things. The sensor is too small to do mapping, and frankly, there's no Pix 4D compatibility, so it's not really going to work. In addition to that, I would just take a Phantom over this thing any day, especially for the fact that the Fly More combo is $9.99. In addition, the Phantom 4 Advanced is only like $10.99 when you get it. The other thing too, if you plan on actually buying Mavic Air, great, props to you. It is a lot of fun to fly. The only thing is, make sure you buy a remote with it. If you don't buy a remote, you're probably going to get maybe 100 feet in distance for the TX and RX. And also, it's not going to really listen to your controls that well. And if you have a flyaway, well, good luck trying to bring it back home. The 10th thing you should know is probably the most frustrating thing about the Mavic Air itself. Now, when I bought the Mavic Air, I did all the updates. I've been updating it throughout, and I'm still having this problem. What's the problem? Whenever I put a new or even a used SD card into the bird, for whatever reason, whenever I try to take that SD card out of the bird and put it in my computer or something else, it tells me the SD card is unreadable, that it's not actually a valid format anymore. What's up with that, DJI? Maybe I'm doing something wrong with the settings in the back end, but I've really tried everything and I still can't get it to work. So how do I access my files? I actually leave the SD card plugged into the Mavic Air and use USB-C, that's right, USB-C, not micro USB, USB-C into my computer, and then I'm actually able to get all the footage off of it. Now the beauty of this too is that the Mavic Air actually has a built-in SSD, so you've got about 8.5 gigs of room on the drone itself. So if you ever forget to have an SD card plugged in, you've got 8 gigs of backup space on the bird itself, which again is really helpful if you're traveling a lot, you're traveling with family, you forgot the SD card. This really is the drone for vloggers and families. If it's anyone professional, this drone really is not for you. You're gonna get so much more out of a Mavic Pro than the Mavic Air. So for the 10 things that I told you you should know about the Mavic Air, do I actually regret purchasing this drone? I'm on the fence because it's a lot of fun to travel with. I can actually take this drone, my camera, my RX100, and a GoPro in one backpack with my laptop, which is really nice. But every single time I bring it with me, I'm like arguing with myself and I'm angry because I wish I had a more capable drone. Because oftentimes I can't get the really cool shots that I could get with a Mavic Pro or the Phantom. And for the price of the Fly More combo, I would simply recommend a Mavic Pro or the Phantom 4 Advance. And considering DJI is going to be releasing new drones soon, like the Mavic Pro 2 and the Phantom 5, I really wouldn't buy this thing. It's just my 2 cents. Pros and cons. Pro, it's great for travel, the most clandestine drone on the market. You cannot hear this thing when it's more than 35 feet away from you. It's absolutely stunning. It's very, very quiet. The downfalls, the cons, just what's not good about it. You cannot fly this very far. It's not very agile. There's no attitude mode. There's no full camera controls. The SD card error is gonna make me climb up a tree and burn it down. I don't know, it's so frustrating after you've done a shoot. This drone is great for small spaces. We did some filming inside of a forest and it was really awesome for that. You get some really cool tight shots. But frankly, I would just like a better performing drone. I would like a better camera sensor and a gimbal that doesn't auto tilt on me. I want to be in full control of the drone. And because of that reason, I recommend not buying this drone if you're a professional drone pilot or someone who just wants to make money with their drones. It's not for you. If you're a vlogger and you're a family man, woo! It's for you! But not for anyone else. Anyway, that's gonna do it for our no regrets review on the Mavic Air after the fact. 10 things you should know. Now, if you want some cool classes from Drone U, you can actually get access to all of our classes. There's 29 of them, and it's only $47. Don't tell anyone. thedroneu.com. Check it out, or check out our podcast. And if you have a question and you want it answered, just go to askdroneu.com and tell us about it, and we'll answer your question live on our podcast, which airs on iTunes every single day. That's going to do it for us today. My name is Paul, and you're watching Drone U TV.